In 1974, at the last Stark World Exposition for many years, Howard Stark hid secret arc reactor technology information in the layout of the expo. Although Howard Stark had made great progress, he was limited by the technology of his time, and so concealed his findings in the hopes that his son, Tony Stark, might one day find them and complete his work. In 1978, Hydra orchestrated the Iranian Revolution. In 1980, Peter Quill, later nicknamed Star-Lord, was born on Earth to the human woman Meredith Quill, but was fathered by Ego the Living Planet, a member of an ancient alien race. In 1981, Hydra began a recession across America. In 1983, a young man named Gordon underwent teragenesis and was transformed into an Inhuman with the ability to teleport while also taking away his eyesight. In 1984, Hank Pym successfully used an EMP communication device to control ants while shrunk down to their size with the Ant-Man suit he also invented. In 1985, Calvin Johnson opened a medical clinic in China, then meeting and marrying an Inhuman named Jia Ying. In 1987, Anton Vanko returned to Moscow from his exile in Siberia. Later that year, S.H.I.E.L.D. sent Hank Pym on a mission to Berlin, wearing the Ant-Man suit to stop a group of radicals who had reverse-engineered Hydra technology. After the success of his first mission, Hank was sent on many more, now accompanied by his wife Jeanette Van Dyne in her own shrinking suit, referred to as the Wasp. But during one of these missions, Jeanette chose to turn off the regulator in her suit, thereby shrinking down to the quantum level so she could disarm a missile, saving many lives. However, without any way to recover her, the Wasp was presumed gone forever. This loss devastated Hank Pym, causing him to retire the Ant-Man suit. In 1988, Yondu Udanta, leader of an alien pirate crew known as the Ravagers, was hired by Ego the Living Planet to travel to Earth and retrieve his son Peter Quill. However, after abducting the boy, Yondu grew fond of him, raising him to be a Ravager rather than returning him to his father. In 1989, Werner Reinhard, a former Nazi and Hydra operative, was released from prison by fellow Hydra member Alexander Pierce, who had infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and the American government. Although now an old man, his mind was sharp, and so was sent to Austria, where he found the Inhuman Jia Ying, who had been kidnapped from the Hunan province of China. Having recognized the woman from before his incarceration, Werner discovered she had not visibly aged, and so experimented on her, using his findings to reverse his own aging, making him a young man once more. Werner then legally changed his name to Daniel Whitehall and adopted an American accent. The numerous experiments, however, also destroyed Jia Ying's body, causing Hydra to believe her dead. But her husband, Calvin Johnson, had been searching for her since she was first taken, and found her remains, using his medical knowledge and Jia Ying's own natural healing abilities to revive his beloved wife. During this process, he also created a formula which made him physically stronger but also volatile and mentally unstable. They then returned to China, only to discover their daughter Daisy, who was staying with trusted friends, had been kidnapped by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, who had designated her a 084, also known as an object of unknown origin. Calvin and Jia Ying then left a bloody trail behind them, but despite their efforts, they were not able to recover their daughter. Fearing that the child might be harmed or exploited by those searching for her, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents left her in an orphanage under the name Mary Sue Poots, though she later chose to go by the nickname Sky. Also in this year, Hank Pym resigned from S.H.I.E.L.D. after learning they had attempted to duplicate his Ant-Man suit technology. In 1990, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent John Garrett was gravely injured during a mission in Sarajevo and was forced to save himself as S.H.I.E.L.D. was unable to send an extraction team. The anger and betrayal he felt eventually caused him to join Hydra, becoming the first test subject for Project Deathlock, where Cybertech Industries was able to create biomechanical prosthetics, which saved his life. In 1991, Howard Stark and his wife Maria were assassinated by the Winter Soldier, acting on behalf of Hydra. Their son, Tony Stark, then inherited Stark Industries, becoming the youngest ever CEO of a Fortune 500 company and a media celebrity. In 1993, Ivan Vanko, son of Anton Vanko, was imprisoned for 15 years, convicted of selling weapons-grade plutonium to Pakistan. Later that year, a boy named Matt Murdock saved the life of an old man when a truck with hazardous chemicals flipped over. Unfortunately, the 9-year-old had these chemicals splashed into his eyes, causing permanent blindness. In 1994, Battlein Jack Murdock, father of young Matt Murdock, was hired by Roscoe Sweeney to purposely lose a boxing match against Carl Crusher Creel. However, he ultimately proved unable to take a dive, instead defeating his opponent so his son might think of him as a winner, while also placing a large bet on himself and arranging for the winnings to be transferred into his son's name. Jack is ultimately killed for his failure to follow through on the deal, eventually seeing Matt move to an orphanage, where he is found by Stick, a blind martial arts master who was a member of a group known as the Chaste, an organization whose purpose was to fight a war against a dangerous ancient ninja clan known as the Hand. In 1995, a young Bruce Banner met and started dating Betty Ross while students at Harvard University. Also in this year, Natasha Romanoff began training and working as a Russian spy, thriving under the strict environment and conditions, eventually earning the codename Black Widow. Back in the US, Stick, who had successfully trained Matt Murdock into a powerful fighter with unique skills and abilities, left his student after seeing that Matt had grown close to him, stating that he could no longer be his instructor. The following year, another student of the Chaste named Elektra was discovered to be the newest incarnation of Black Sky, a powerful weapon sought by the Hand. And so to eliminate this threat, Stick was ordered to kill her, but having grown attached to the girl, chose to save her instead, sending her to live with a wealthy Greek family. In 1997, S.H.I.E.L.D. sent agent Clint Barton to assassinate Natasha Romanoff, who was now considered an international threat. However, the man who was later known as Hawkeye chose to spare her life, instead offering her a job with S.H.I.E.L.D., which she accepted. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Maester Pupper, Grand Maester of the Took, Skipalux the Unbroken, Drakthul, Caleb Flub, and Yikub Thorntongue. You all make these videos possible, and I am eternally grateful for your support. If you would like to help CivilizationEx and gain early access to videos, access to the Patreon-only series Heroes of Lore and Legend, and vote on future content to be produced, you can click on the Patreon link in the description box below and pledge any amount you'd like on a monthly basis. Or if you'd prefer to make a single donation, you can use the PayPal link also in the description below. And please be sure to like and subscribe and click on the links to see more.